Everybody, thank you for coming and watching. This is the Art of Mindful Medicine, episode 11, where I introduce you all to our health and wellness practitioners and influencers. My name is, again, Dr. Seth Gilson, biological dentist, certified yoga teacher, speaker, and personal coach. And my very special guest today, good friend of mine, James Devilon. A little bit about James. James got a really cool story. James is a certified personal trainer and health coach. He is a retired firefighter and paramedic and president of Heroes Unite, which is a nonprofit connecting animals with first responders. Awesome organization that I can't wait to talk to you a little bit more about. James' passion is in helping others enjoy life through fitness. After serving 12 years as a first responder, he decided to take on a new career path in the health and wellness space. James has always been devoted to serving the community, and as his journey progressed, in his own words, which I love this analogy, he's decided to no longer be a lifeguard, but rather a swim coach. So, James, say hello, introduce yourself for just a minute, and we will get started. Absolutely. and, and no, I did just give everybody an intro, and I mean, I know you as someone that is extremely passionate about helping others and giving back to the community and building community, which is fantastic and something that honestly, especially with what's going on in the world right now, we all really, really need a lot more of. So as always, I always start with gratitude. So James, please share with us 3 things that you're grateful for today. Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I totally appreciate that and totally agree with you. Those are 3 things that I'm very grateful for myself. So, everybody, excuse, I know there's a little bit of a connection thing with everybody, but I appreciate you guys being patient. Um, so, James, if you could give us a little bit about your past, your story growing up, where you're from, a little bit about what your life was like when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So life just pushed you there. I mean that's how some of the most beautiful things in our lives occur. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So and then so I mean so your inspiration for becoming a first responder and things is really just more like it just happened to you, but then you fell in love with it. So how did that feel? I mean, was that because that I mean that was seems to be like the first kind of profession that made you come alive, I guess. So what was that feeling like? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like the South Florida Olympics of first responders. That's awesome. And I mean, you guys are having fun connecting and learning at the same time. I mean, because you're learning from each other. I mean, it doesn't really matter who wins. Obviously, like there's that gratification of saying like you guys won, but you learn from each other, and it benefits the community and whoever else's lives you guys come in contact with. So that's an awesome project that they started. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. So, when did you learn about yourself that you wanted to become a health and fitness coach? What inspired that from being a first responder? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The connection, the connection, the connection, the connection got a little choppy there for a sec, James. Yeah, now I can hear you. It's coming back in, but can you just repeat what you said about like you were getting hurt a lot, and then you started going to physical therapy, and then you started to realize what? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and those are, I mean, those are not that they're the best people to help, but those are the people that you can help the most. I mean, yes, you can. We can always teach people new things, and when people learn, they become more inspired to be healthier and to be better to themselves. But and that's obviously something that you do. But I mean, to focus most of your energy on people that are already in that space, I mean, is just, I mean, it's so much more helpful for the community. I mean, that's how you create more community, because when you surround yourself with like-minded people, when you're focused on a direction that is better for not them just on an individual basis, but for the collective whole. I mean, that's a huge change, and I think the benefits are just exponentially that much greater. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and go ahead. No, no, no. You go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. It it cut out again a little bit. So say that again. So you were saving some lives. Yeah, you were saving lives on some of the same lives on a regular basis, and then what? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Yeah, absolutely. So going back a little bit to being a first responder, and I'm sure there are many, many, many times that and things that you can think of, but what would you say is the most inspiring moment that you can remember being in the field as a first responder? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Dude, that I got goosebumps. So that I mean that's. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. Um, so, what would you say is the most or one of the most pivotal moments in your life that helped shape you into the person that you are today? Oh, well, that's perfect because that brings me to the next question. So go right ahead. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. 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 I can only imagine. And so why exactly did you retire from the fire department? Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like you kind of you just found your passion. It's like you're not before you had a job and you were working, and this, which most people can't really can't say, but now I don't think you have a job, and I don't think you're working. I think this is just you're being you and doing you and following your passion. And I think if more people, actually, I know if more people were to do this, our lives on an individual and collective level would be so much more better, so much better for everybody. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. If you're not completely authentic, absolutely. Yeah. Totally. I mean, and like you said, it's a little choppy. So I'm gonna chime in. I don't know if everybody heard it because you're talking about how everything's energy and that energy is connected between people and 100%. I mean, even just when I see patients, people feel your energy. If you're a little off that day, or if you're not completely authentic, I mean, people know it. I mean, they might not even know that they know it, but they can feel it. And when we're in somebody else's presence, we affect them, whether we completely understand that or not. So I totally understand and vibe with what you're talking about. So. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely, my man. Um, and moving on from that, of course, I mean you've learned how to live mindfully. I mean just this whole that whole journey there. I mean that is mindfulness, in embodied in you. So what if you had to put it into words? What would you say mindfulness means to you? Mm-hmm. 100%, 100%. I totally agree with you. It's a beautiful definition, and I mean, obviously, we can see how you've lived that. And what are some of the things that you do daily to incorporate mindfulness into your personal life? Awesome. Mm-hmm. 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 Beautiful, beautiful, dude. That I literally couldn't agree with you more, and I think that's so important for people to understand because there's a way of thinking, and again, it's not like you said. It's not that one way's right or wrong or better or worse. It's just we all find our own path. But I find that a lot of people just, if they think everything is just positive, everything's just going to work out. Like they just look at everything as positively as they possibly can. Um, that's great, but the doing, you have to take action, and the action has to be effective, and it has to be in alignment with your highest self. You're not going to think. Yes, some things can randomly just happen in life, but most of those random occurrences aren't as random as we think. And it comes from the things that we do, and like you said, who we are and who we are becoming. So I think that's an awesome, not just routine, but just a way of life. I mean, it's so beautiful. And I mean, obviously, this is why we've connected. I mean, we both do things like this on a daily basis. So that's beautiful. I really appreciate you sharing that. Now, as far as bringing all of that into helping others, what are some of the, or how has mindful practices kind of guided and influenced you in your coaching? So, like, what are some of the examples that you practice and teach people to do in your coaching? Mm-hmm. 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 It's a confidence. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 100%. Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, it makes so much sense, and once you start seeing results from that, then it kind of, it's just like a domino effect. Things just start getting better and better and better, and you just stay on that. But I mean, getting past that first hurdle for people is a huge issue and a huge step for some people. And like you were saying, physiologically, it's not like the body, like your heart and all the different organs don't know. It's like, oh, this type of stress versus that type of stress versus this type of stress. It's just stress. And physiologically, very similar things are going on. And the emotions, thoughts, and attitude that we tie to those physiological stressors make an enormous difference in our overall health. And just in being able to create those habits and those mindful ways of living. So I think that's a fantastic story. I mean, and that's a real story. I mean, something that somebody's actually, one of your clients is actually experiencing right now. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And I mean, I know how rewarding that is. So, I mean, I commend you for that. And I congratulate her, whoever she is. So, I mean, I think that's fantastic. So thank you for sharing that. So what would you say are some of the key benefits from exercising mindfully beyond just like achieving goals and things like that? What are some of the other, whether it's physical changes or changes in relationships, things, what would you say are some key benefits that you've seen people experience? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And to add on to that, I think one of the things that unfortunately I think a lot of people are struggling with. I don't want to say the majority of people because I really don't know, but I certainly hope not. But I think a lot of people are struggling with connecting and understanding others. And I think coming together and even realizing that we have differences. I mean, there's different ways of thinking, there's different things that people do, and different things that people want to do. So, I mean, yes, we're tough and we'll get through this, but we have to do it together. And the only way to do things together is to work together. And we have to have open lines of honest communication and be disciplined and determined to do things together, because you can only get so far, we can only get so far as individuals, but when we're together as a whole, anything is possible. And I think this is a beautiful and really, really important way to start, because your own fitness, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, is extremely, extremely important. I mean, like what you were talking about, just getting the body moving is so important to detox. I mean, just the amount of detox that you go through from exercising and just eating correctly, and it doesn't happen overnight, just like people didn't get where they're at overnight. I mean, it takes time to really get through these things. But like you said, I mean, you start seeing little hash marks or landmarks along the way, and you can see little improvements. And when you are with that's another benefit of having people around you. When people can give you that encouragement and that positive reinforcement, that, I mean, people are literally dying to be encouraged to do things for themselves and to better themselves, which will inevitably better the community. So, I mean, I think working together is a huge, huge part of that. And again, so leading me to what you do as a personal trainer, health coach, what are some of the kind of fitness trainings and coaching that you do? I mean, who are some of your clients? Do you do just adults? Do you do kids and adults? Do you groups, one-on-one, all that kind of stuff? Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. I was just gonna say it's a commitment. It's really a commitment, and it's a commitment to themselves. I know what it's like. I mean, I've been exercising and working out my entire life, so it is really just a true, honest, loving commitment to yourself to do these things. I mean, to better yourself. So that's beautiful. And with these variety of clients, I mean, what would you say are like one or two of the most important recommendations that you give to all of your clients when it comes to exercising? Mm-hmm. Instant gratification. Periodization, is that what you said? Oh, pyramidization. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. That's a great way of looking at it, and people can kind of create a visual in their mind. So that's great. Um, and for you, because I mean, you obviously you work with a variety of people, and I mean, and we were talking about energy. I mean, when you're working with a lot of people, especially when it's strenuous work for some people, whether it's physically or emotionally, what keeps you motivated? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So we have like about 10 minutes or so, a little or maybe a little less. But and there's a couple really important things that I do want to talk about or let you talk about. But one of them is what kind of makes you different from other trainers and coaches. What I mean, of course, your passion. I mean, I know your passion because I know you. But what would you say to others that really makes you stand out from the crowd? Mm-hmm. 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 You can't get that in a classroom or in a course. Yeah, totally, totally, totally. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, experience is our greatest teacher. Life is our greatest teacher, and I think what we can learn in a book or a textbook or from somebody talking to us will take us. I mean, it can take you far, but it only takes you to a point. I mean, and at that point is where you have to take the reins and you have to go out and do life. And I think that I totally agree with you. I mean, that's something that definitely helps you stand out, and why I've connected with you so much because I can see that difference in you and I can feel it. Like we were talking about energy. I mean, the energy. I mean, I don't know how many people that are watching have been in your presence, but you have an energy about you that really truly is beautiful and fantastic. So I truly appreciate that. And one of the things that I really, really love is that you started this new nonprofit. And I really want you to talk to people about Heroes Unite, because it's something that I had mentioned earlier about you connecting first responders, like what you've done in the past, with animals. What's your inspiration? How can people support you? Tell us a little bit about the organization, exactly what it does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, sorry. Hold on. It cut out. Sorry. What? So being a first responder, so you pay a trainer, and they'll come to you to obviously train the animal, and then go on from there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Good idea. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, heroesunite.org. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free. Direct message James, direct message me, and I'm pretty sure I remember seeing all the social media and all these different outlets are on the website. So if somebody has any questions, I mean, you can go to the website, and that's a direct way to support you and the organization. Um, so I really appreciate what you're doing. Of course, I mean, I know the benefits of animals. I mean, I've grown up with animals, and I mean, it's absolutely clinically proven that animals are to our emotional support benefit. I mean, there's a lot of people that own emotional support animals. So I mean, it's there for a reason, and I think that's a fantastic organization helping people that really need help, and helping animals that really need help. So we are on our 2-minute countdown now. So James, I really appreciate you coming on. People can connect with you on Instagram at DevilonJ or at Heroes Unite, like you said. And I really appreciate you coming on here. I really love talking to you. I look forward to talking to you more about it. And everybody, I appreciate all your comments and feedback. If you guys have suggestions as who you'd love to see on the show, please direct message me. I'm happy to accommodate as anybody that I can that's willing to come on and talk about these types of things to benefit all of our health and wellness. You can check out all previous episodes on YouTube, The Art of Mindful Medicine, or on my website, www.mindful.doctor. And again, we're on Instagram Live on Saturdays at 12. And you can also connect with me to reach out to any of the people, including James, of course, that you would like to connect with. And as always, I will always end with a quote. This is from James Clear. Be forgiving with your past self. Be strict with your present self. Be flexible with your future self. So I think that's extremely important for everybody to think about. And as always, James, thank you very much. Everybody, thank you again for watching. And again, everybody, stay awesome, stay mindful. Have an awesome weekend, guys.